Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Hope everyone's having a fantastic day. Today's video is unstuffing my 25 envelope Christmas savings challenge. Now I've got these available on my Etsy store if anyone's interested. If you want to start, I'm actually going to start popping money into this straight away this year. I regret not doing that last year. I waited till after my holiday and then it just never happened until much later in the year. I was very organised for Christmas, so it wasn't stressful this year, which was fantastic. But I really want to get in early this year and get everything early, which would be absolutely fantastic. So we're going to unstuff this. Now it's not full. I didn't actually get it finished, mainly because I didn't film any bonus videos for November and December. I did have extra money that I'll be stuffing in a bonus video shortly, but I just didn't get around to doing it. It wasn't something that was urgent, so I ended up having other money that I could use to buy my Christmas present, so I just left this and I thought I'll stuff this and put this into different areas once it's done. Just the fact that I was sick and just I wasn't able to film. So I thought I'll just leave it, and yeah, November, December was a bit crazy, but that's all behind us now, and yeah, so let's get unstuffing and see how much is in here. Okay, so I'll bring my cash tray in. Now this is going to be, having these smaller envelopes and having the money folded makes things get a little bit crazy, but this year I've made sure that I have folded them all the same direction, so hopefully not too much of an issue. So let's see how much. Actually, I might not add it up until the end, so I'll move that out of the way, but it is not full, but I've got a decent amount in here, I think. I haven't actually added it up since looking at it. I can't remember the last time I put money in it to actually see how much there is. So what we'll do is we'll just pop these out onto, hopefully you can see that, onto the tray, and we'll just see. Yeah, so by having them folded, that makes them a bit more difficult to work with, but it doesn't worry me. As soon as you put them in your binder, they flatten down pretty quickly. But I did notice last time I like to have all my notes the same direction when I'm counting them when they're in the tray, and if you don't fold them all the same way, they end up all over the show, and it very much hurts my feelings. So this year I made a very conscious decision to make sure they were all folded the same direction. I will be releasing Christmas binder for the savings challenges this year with the A6 envelopes. If you would prefer not to fold your money, so keep an eye out for those as well. Some people like to fold it. It doesn't really worry me. I've done this quite a few times now, so not too much of a drama. But yeah, it does get a bit crazy if you fold them willy-nilly when you put them in there, and then you try and, but I guess it all depends. If you're not doing a stuffing video, like an unstuffing video, and you're just putting them in a pile, it's not so bad. Oh, that's an empty one. That's an empty one. There'll be a few. I think these might all be, oh no, that one's got something in it. I'll just quickly have a look at these. They're all empty ones. Oh. So I hope everybody had a fantastic Christmas. We had a bit different Christmas this year. We normally stay at my mum's house and all spend the night there with my nephews. But this year mum thought it was going to be too much, so we ended up just staying at home. My daughter came and spent the night with her puppy, and so we were all together on Christmas morning to open our presents together. Santa came to everybody, which was lovely, and yeah, everybody had a great time. Two of my daughters did a gingerbread made a gingerbread house and had a competition out of that. Sophie was clearly the winner. Caitlin's was a bit broken and didn't have a roof on hers and was having all kinds of issues. So she thought Sophie was the one that actually purchased the gingerbread houses that might have been rigged. So who knows? But they had a great time, and yeah, it was nice. So we're just going to start our own traditions now, and yeah, the day was nice. The weather was beautiful here. We were lucky not to have any storms or anything overnight, which I know some of the world did, which was not fantastic. And then we went camping after Christmas. So yeah, we had a great Christmas period. Camping was a little bit rough. There was 2 days where we got rain and wind. One night we slept in the back of my daughter's car, which was doable, but a bit tight. So but yeah, the rest of the trip was beautiful. The weather was lovely. So now let's get counting this money and see how much we've got here. Okay, so I might use my calculator just to make sure. So 20 we've got 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 120, 130, 140, 150, 160, 170. 10, oh, that's 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Yes, that's not too bad at all. So 250. Now I just double checked that with the tracker, and there was 2 envelopes that I actually missed. So good thing I checked that. So that was an extra 40. So there's 290 in here. So yeah, so we'll I'll move this stuff out of the way and we'll get that stuffed into my envelope. Okay, so I've got $290 to work with. So I think what I will do is so my daughter's already paid for the tickets, and she said she's happy for us to pay the tickets back last, after we've saved everything. Otherwise, once we get back. So I'm going to concentrate on everything else first and do that, the actual cost of the ticket last. She knew that when she bought, because we'd already bought the pink tickets and had committed to that holiday, that if we wanted to go ahead with getting the Taylor tickets once they had the last release that we sort of weren't expecting, if we went ahead and got them, that was what was going to have to happen, and she was happy with that. So we just want to make sure we've got everything else covered first, and then we'll pay that off. She is lucky enough to have a lot of money saved in the bank, which is absolutely fantastic. So she was happy to do that for us. So I've decided to do $100 into flights. So 20, 40, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. So I'm not going to condense these just yet. I'll just check that. 40, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. I'll just stuff them as is at the moment, and we'll do a condensing later on. Because I'm not going to keep too much cash in these binders, in my travel binder. I'm going to put it all in the bank so that I'm getting interest on it. So I'm going to do all these unstuffings and stuff everything, and then I'm going to change it to with placeholders and put it all in the bank. So I'm not going to worry about condensing this just yet. So now I've got 50. I haven't got my, still got a rogue 20 there. Try that again. So 50, 70, 90, 110, 130, 140, 150, 160, 175. We're nearly halfway there. At this stage, it looks like it's going to cost us $400 for airfares, which is way more than I would like to pay, but it is what it is, unfortunately. Accommodation. So I have actually booked our accommodation for this, which was fairly reasonable. It looked like it was going to be absolutely ridiculous. We were going to have to pay about $2,500 for 2 nights, which I wouldn't have done. I would have just stayed further out. But there's almost no accommodation available, and the accommodation that was just ridiculous. And then luckily I had something pop up. And yeah, we got quite reasonable accommodation. We are going over Thursday, back Saturday. We couldn't get accommodation on the Saturday night, and like I said, it's just a quick trip because we're going to see Taylor, and that's the main reason. We won't be spending a lot of money. It's literally just over and back to see the concert. So we were really lucky with the accommodation there. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. $100 into accommodation, and so that is over half of what I need to pay. In food, I'm going to put 50, so 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. And into spending, I'm going to put 45, which is what should be left. So 10, 20, 30, 40, that's not right, 10, 20, 30, 40. So I can't count. That should be 40, not 45. I've written on my note. So that is very poofy. So that's got me well underway with my savings now for Taylor. And I haven't done any of my yearly savings challenge yet or my $1,000 savings. So I think what I'm going to do with those is try and stuff what I need for Taylor first, and then move on to Pink, because Taylor is coming up first. We've got another month before we go to Pink after that. And yeah, I think that's sort of the way that I'm going to do it, is get that one out of paid for and out of the way. Yeah, so we'll just keep an eye out for the flights this weekend, and fingers crossed that there's a big sale and we can get something a bit cheaper, because yeah, the flights are a lot more expensive than I would hope. But given the fact that, you know, we got our tickets last minute, I was kind of expecting that. So fingers crossed we can keep our costs down as much as we can. I did actually manage to get cash back on when I booked the Taylor accommodation. I think I got about $35 cash back, which was great on my Shopback app. The link will be down below if you're interested in joining that. That's absolutely fantastic. And on the Queensland accommodation, I got nearly $200 in cash back. I waited till they had 10% cash back on Shopback, and yes, I've got about $200. Now that money's not going to come in before we go away. One thing with Shopback is you do have to wait a bit of time before you get that money back, but eventually I'll get that in a couple of months, and that'll be my money to spend, which it's not cost me any extra, and it's just a bonus of having the Shopback app. I've got about $90 at the moment that I can cash out, so I'll be cashing that out shortly, and that'll be getting added into the travel binder for the holidays. But yeah, if you're thinking about joining that, then definitely check out my link below. You also get $20, I think, when you sign up and you make your first purchase through that. So it's absolutely fantastic. I'm pretty sure my lifetime earnings, which is how much I've earned since I signed up, is about $700. So yeah, I'm stoked with that. And I also managed to get on bookings.com, I managed to get some kind of reward. So once we've actually stayed at the hotel, I think I get about a $70 voucher to use for the next time that I book. So we'll also be going in November, so hopefully I'll be able to use that. But I can't use that. I couldn't use that to book Queensland because we don't actually get it until after you've used the accommodation, you've actually stayed there. So I'm excited to get that as well. Thank you very much for making it to the end of the video. I know it got a bit rambly at the end. If you can subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so, and give it a like if you've enjoyed the video. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.